Hello everybody, my name is Matt and you're watching JDM Simulations. Before we get into this video, I just wanted to say a few things. First of all, I'm sick, so if my voice is really annoying, I really apologize. Before we actually get into the video, like I said, I really apologize. It is so irritating, and I can imagine how irritating it is for you guys. Because even if it's irritating for me, you know, I really feel bad for you guys. But anyway, let's get into this video. Actually, no, sorry. I wanted to say something first. I'm such an idiot. So first of all, I wanted to just say thank you to everybody. Me and Jason want to thank everybody who has supported us this far. We reached a really huge milestone, which is 1,000 views on a video. We reached that. We got 80-something subscribers. We just want to thank everybody that's been watching our videos, that has been a part of it. Just for being here, we really appreciate it more than you guys could ever imagine. It really, really makes it worth doing, just so you guys, you know, understand that. Like I said, we just want you guys to understand that we care immensely about you guys, and we wouldn't be doing this without you. Sorry, sorry, it's a really nice day. I don't have my windows open, but I quickly realized that I can't have the video like that, just this virtue of the wind blowing around. So now, to get into this video, or not first, but today what we're going to be doing is we're going to be flying from doing a full flight with the PMDG 737 NGX. I haven't really done that many videos on this aircraft, extensively I should say. So really what this is going to be a really, really like in-depth full flying of this aircraft. Beautiful, beautiful aircraft. With this, even this livery is, oh, it's just gorgeous. Caribbean Airlines, it's gorgeous. I guess it's a subsidiary of Air Jamaica, or subsidiary. I don't know how you really pronounce it. I haven't really read it that often, so I don't know. I think it's subsidiary, but I think it could be subsidiary. Who cares? Anyway, very beautiful aircraft, very amazing modeling outside, and we're gonna just start with a, it's gonna be a full actual like flight of the aircraft. So there's gonna be nothing left out for you guys, which I'm excited for. So first we're going to start out by turning the APU on. Oh, the engine's already on. Oopsies. I didn't even know that. I'm sorry, guys. I didn't even see that. I will turn that off. So anyway, I had the APU turned on. So I really apologize for that. I didn't even see that. I had the APU on. I thought I had the APU only on, but that wasn't the case. So just setting up some views here of what we're going to be doing for this. Just setting up some of the valves that we're going to need. Set these all off. Running down. Fuel off. Gens are off. And that seems to be fine and dandy. Okay, so we're going to be flying from Port-au-Prince, Haiti, which is Mike Tango Papa over to St. Martin, which is Tango November Mike Charlie. So we're gonna start by I already have my flight plan all printed out and everything. We're ready to go. I have my fuel as well. Can't talk today. So we're gonna set our fuel today. We're gonna only be flying with 16,652 pounds of fuel today. That's going to be more than enough. Oops, one too many sixes. So 16,651 is what it levels out to, which is about 36% fuel. Not a very far flight, about 600 miles, so we'll be good with that. That'll be more than enough for any diversions that we might have to make throughout the flight, which we won't, I promise. That would be annoying. Just checking our initial things. So we're just going to come in here. We're at gate 2, I believe. What, I haven't put in the airport in yet, so that's kind of stupid. I'm an idiot. That's so sad. Gate is 2. I believe our IRS is already set up. I think it's 2B, maybe. I don't know. Whatever, who cares? I think our IRS is already set up. I believe it's just, I set up the aircraft to do that. Another reason why we haven't been making that many videos lately, and I really, really apologize for that, is Jason has ordered a new CPU. I believe it might have been a new processor or a new graphics card. Either way, it's going to improve the videos on his side. What happened with me is that I had a problem. I believe I got a virus because if the people that have been flying with me for a while on the channel. By the way, it's Tango November Charlie Mike, not Mike Charlie. based on the winds. Sorry, one second. I have to get a reading on the winds real quick. So let's see that right now. Winds are 186 at 0 knots, so it doesn't really matter. We'll take runway 10 today. So I actually had a virus on the Windows side, so I actually had to redo my Windows partition, and I had to get all my add-ons back, every single add-on I've ever had, which is, you know, a ridiculously large amount. It's just taken forever to get around to doing that, especially because I lost my disc, so I had to go to a friend that I gave them to and ask for them back, and then had to do it, so it just took forever, but I'm finally back, and I'm so excited to be back. I can't wait to play. I haven't played. This is the first flight I've done in forever, and I'm so excited. So, first waypoint, the direct will be Kennick, or whatever that's called. The first one. This is above the equator. Then we're taking the A772, Alpha 772 airway, up into Delta Charlie Romeo. From Delta Charlie Romeo, we're going to the uniform, what is G? Uniform, that's going to really annoy me. Whatever, I honestly don't know that's pretty sad. I don't know what happened to my brain, but I don't remember that one. Then we're going to Mela, which is Mike Echo Lima Lima Alpha. After that, we're going to transfer onto another airway, G again, which I don't know what that is, 633, up into Delta Delta P, Papa, I should say, Bravo 520 airway again, onto Mali, which is another waypoint. Next page, then we're going to do RTE2. Is that really an airway? I don't believe that. Oh, wow, it is. That doesn't sound like it. SST is going to be not in the database, which is fine. We'll just skip that one, and we'll go direct to Gouda. I don't believe Gouda is. I don't believe Gouda is on that airway, so we could probably just delete that airway and then just go direct Gouda. Here. I don't remember how to do that. I don't believe there's any command to clear that. So that would be unfortunate if we can't find a way to do that. It's STT. That's why it didn't work. It's STT, not SST. Beautiful. Okay, then direct Gouda. And from Gouda, there's a visual approach on to, because it's a beautiful day out today, we're going to be doing a just straight in visual approach into St. Martin today. So, now we've got our flight plan set up. You can see we will, sorry, keep pressing that button. We can come into here and we can put up our zoom out of our map to see that we've got quite a nice journey ahead of us. But, you know, I'm going to be breaking this video up into takeoff, pretty much pre-flight departure, and then into the whole cruise part and descent, and then just the last part, which we'll be finishing off. I'm kind of trying to do this so that you guys can see an entire flight with these aircraft. These aircraft. And we'll be doing this with many aircraft. So, you know, any aircraft you want to see, just let us know. We'll be doing something like this with them, just to show what the planes are like in full flight situations. So, now that we have our 10, I believe it's Benny. No, it's not. I'm trying to remember. I wrote down the instrument departure, yeah, and I have it here somewhere, but I don't remember what exactly. I believe maybe it's this one with a transition. Let's see what this looks like. See if I didn't draw it on yet. Let's find out what's going on here. I bet I could just find it, but I don't want to. I don't want to end this recording and go find it. Let's see what this looks like. That would not work. No, that will not. That won't do. That won't do. Crow, no. I'm trying to remember what it was. DPL, no. Control like 10. ETB, no. DEPL 28, no, that's not it. Apologize for this, it's my fault, I'm not prepared. I keep thinking it's corral, but I guess not. Whatever, we can just choose any departure off that, and we'll make adjustments. Let's go ETB and see how much of it, how much that takes off our flight plan. That'll be fine. What we could do here, and I will, this happens sometimes where we have to make adjustments to our flight plan. That's no problem. We can do that fine. What we'll do is we'll cut out DCR and just go straight to Mogan, which is one of the airways, I believe. So as you can see here, I just made an amendment to the flight plan where instead of coming out to the right, or to the southish, I should say, instead of coming out to the south, we'll just go right over to the east, and we'll just head that way instead of going out all that way. So our flight plan is completely figured out in there. Now we're just going to get our weights in. Our reserves are actually 4,000 pounds of fuel, I believe. Cost index will be at 60, high cost index because I like to get places fast. Our because it is suggesting 391 as our flight level, cruising altitude, we'll put that in there because we want a high enough cruising level that we'll be able to use our fuel as well as possible. And by the way, this is really powerful aircraft, so we can get up there quite quickly and have no problem banging that out and having a nice cruise there. So we're going to use what they give us here. And that pretty much is it as far as just our pre-flight. Just going to run through it again. Our route is all set up. Got all our waypoints in there. Our legs are all set up. There's no discontinuities. All of our VNAV data is in there. Our fuel is set. We come back to the index. Performance data is set. Takeoff data is set. Approach data not set yet because we don't have our weight. So we're going to wait until we're farther down, and we're going to pick our flap setting because we're not actually at the weight in which we're able to say what weight we're going to be at. I don't know if I'm explaining this right, but it's okay. It's okay. You guys, I think you guys will understand what I'm saying. So just putting at the correct altimeter here, which will be 2986. Still have the parking brake on here. I'm going to set our flaps real quick, just in order to have that all done until later. I'm going to move the throttle up just so I can see. Obviously, there's no engines on, so there's no problem doing this. As long as we remember to put them back, that's all fine. Here we will come to set our plane up so we can just, what I'm doing is I'm just making sure that we can just take off real quick right after our aircraft is ready to go. Right after. So there we go. RTO is set. And I'm going to put on our lights here today. It is light out, so I'm not going to be putting on our landing lights, but I'm not going to do that either. But I'll put on our strobes, and the collision can go off, and the wheel well, as well as the wing lights. So we're going to be lit up like a Christmas tree here today. And this is looking good. So pretty much we'll just come over here and get our pushback clearance. Not our pushback clearance, but our pushback. I'm going to actually come outside and look at how far we're going to need to go. We're going to want to, here. So we'll push back to the right, nose facing left. There's a Beechcraft right there. So we'll turn right, and we'll go about 130 feet, let's say. So we'll say 130 feet, that's good, and push nose right, that's perfect, okay. I want to push the nose about 50 degrees will be sufficient for what we're doing today. Total distance, we only need to go straight for about 8 feet. That'll be good. Sorry for the voice crack there. And, so here we'll start the pushback sequence.
We're all set to go up here. We've been cleared to push and start at your discretion.
Roger that, ready for push. Power and air clear, doors closed. We are ready for pushback. Parking brake, please.
And so I'm going to be doing everything inside the cockpit here and not pressing any buttons so you guys know what's going on, just so that you guys can actually see what's actually happening in the aircraft now. So we're clear to push. We're starting to push back. As soon as the pushback starts, we will go ahead and start our engines. Set that they're both here.
Brakes off, here we go.
There you go, starting. here we should put on our engine data here. N2 is rising. It's currently at 10%. Once we hit 20% N1, we will kick on we'll introduce fuel to the engine, I should say. Alright, 20% N1, we'll introduce fuel to the engine. N1 is rising. EGT as well is rising. Fuel flow is positive. As soon as the aircraft has come to a start, as soon as the N1 levels off at 18% N1, we will go over to the next engine. But here we're going to introduce fuel from our tanks into this engine, just to make sure that we're getting the fuel and we don't forget about that. So this coming up 18% N1, we're all good on that number 1 engine. Now we'll come back up here and start the number 2. As you can see, we're pushed back nice and good here. We'll be able to pull out of this. Parking brake set.
Brakes are set and
All right.
pressure's on.
Okay, sir. Tow bar is off. Pin is out. Watch the pin on the right.
Alright guys, thanks. You're cleared to disconnect. We will be watching for the pin and the release from guidance on the right side of the airplane, and we'll see you guys next time through.
Roger that. Have a good flight.
It's a very particular aircraft. Sometimes the engines will not start because of something that I do, and sometimes I do things. There, I believe that was it. Yeah, I forgot the isolation valve was supposed to be auto and not off. So here we go, engine 2 coming up to a start here. We're gonna be taxiing with both engines on today. Right here, 20%. Usually we could taxi with one engine to save fuel, but we'll be taxiing with both engines here today because we'll be as soon as we get on that runway, we're turning around. We'll be taking off there. So that's kind of what we're at this point. So as of now, there's not really much to do in the cockpit as before waiting just to have these engines kick up. Once that stabilize at 21, we'll go and we will start going. As you can see, fuel flow is rising. As soon as we get stabilized fuel flow and stabilized engine instruments, we can begin the taxi with both engines. Like I said, I'm sorry I'm sick today. I've been sick. I didn't go to school for 3 days and during the school week, so I was not feeling too well, but it's okay. All is well. Just as long as I get to sim, I'm all right. So I'm just putting in some preliminary details in the flight plan. Not the flight plan, I didn't mean flight plan, sorry, into the autopilot data. Just so that when we are ready to go, we're not, putting all this stuff in. First is going to be 2,340, so we'll put it down to about 2,500, and we'll keep that there. Also, what we'll do is we'll have LNAV, unless LNAV won't be fussy. So both engines are set to go. Flaps are set where we want them to be at approximately flaps 15. So we are all good to go start taxiing here. Just checking our brakes here. Brakes are good. Yeah, we do not need this much thrust to taxi. It's all, we'll keep a little bit. Like I said, this aircraft is very powerful. It can, it can maintain a really, really quick pace here with not that much thrust. So what we'll do is we'll come onto the runway, turn left, and start heading down towards the end of the runway. I don't use ATC unless I'm using VATSIM, so I'm not going to be using ATC today. If you guys, I don't really think it's that. I know how I've done VATSIM videos, so if you want to see a VATSIM video, you can go look at that. It's in the channel. It's a very fun video to watch, and I'll be doing more of those actually in the future. If you want to see a certain video with VATSIM, or you want to see a live stream with it, just shoot us a comment saying what aircraft you want to see, what route, and I will be, as adamant as possible that I will get you that certain video with that aircraft and that route on VATSIM. A lot of people are not that comfortable with VATSIM, so I am perfectly okay with going on VATSIM with any aircraft. As long as I have it, I don't really want to be spending money on just one video. I've done it before, but it's not really good for my wallet. My wallet doesn't really like it that much. So, anything that we've done in the past, you want to see a certain video with that be perfect to do with that. Also, you know, if there's like, you know, little aircraft that I can try, I'm probably gonna get the PMDG Jetstream 41. It looks like a real challenge to fly. It looks like a lot of fun, so I'm definitely thinking about getting that aircraft. We'll just put our landing lights on for now because we are on the runway. We want people to see us, even though it's extremely likely that they wouldn't see us. We're gonna comply with normal procedures. I'd like to be kind of far out so I can see as much of the cockpit as possible. To me, it just helps me manage my aircraft better. You know, like I said, you know, everybody's different. I didn't actually say that, but might as well have. Everybody's different. If you find this annoying, I apologize, but this is how I fly. So if you don't like it, then there's other people that make FSX videos. You know, it does reduce the quality of the displays, but if I want to see a display, I can just get right into that display nice and easy there. So as we're sitting here, we'll test our annunciators to make sure they're all working. And it doesn't look like we're missing one there, so that looks all good. The test is going well, and we'll turn off that. Yeah, just getting normal annunciators. Fuel, which we have not set yet, finished. There we go, that annunciator will go off, and we have not set our yaw damper to on yet. Yaw damper should be off, actually, sorry. For now, it should. As soon as we are ready to go, we will turn the yaw damper on, and then we will get going. I'm not actually familiar with the yaw damper system, so I don't know what it actually does, and I can't give you, you know, I could try and give you an explanation, but I really don't know that much about it. So if you want to get a good explanation on it, you know, maybe somebody in the comments want to give some information on the system, or you know, anybody in general that knows anything about it, you could probably just look it up yourself. But it would be cool to have a little community where we could come and, you know, give our ideas of what we think it is and what we know it is and stuff like that. So we're just coming up here to the end of the runway where we'll be turning off in this turning bay here. I'll start bringing the aircraft over to the right in order to have a good turn radius when while going into this entering into this turning bay. As you can see, we have little to no thrust in right now. So like this aircraft has a really nice ability to not be stuck to the ground, I should say. So it doesn't really, it'll you know, continue to propel itself if you are not moving it, especially if there's a little bit of a wind. So this is sufficient room. It's a big aircraft, but it's not heavy. So it you know, you can make, you know, tight turns if you apply some brakes. I'm just gonna come out to the outside just to show you this Caribbean Air. I think the Caribbean Airlines livery, I think it's just gorgeous. You know, Caribbean Airlines, cool airlines in the you know, in the Caribbean, clearly, which I imagine they probably have a flight like this. They probably do, or maybe they fly their 7.3s to like Florida or something, or New York City. Never actually see one in person. I know, actually, it's a lie. I've been to the Bahamas before, and I've seen a few of these 7.3s. So, you know, they probably do a flight like this. What we're doing here today. Oh, what, the flaps are not down? It's not good. Here, let's figure that out here on the runway as we line up. Good, it's good here. All right, that's not lined up, I know. I'll just get our brakes on. Let's see what the problem is with our flaps. Wonder why that is. Maybe it's a hydraulic. Oh yeah, but I forgot to turn the hydraulics on. I apologize. Again, my mistake. As for now, we can turn our APU bleeds off and go for our bus switches from our engines, turn off our APU, and we can turn our packs on to full. Isolation valve can go off, but we'll leave it on there. And we can get our air conditioning full on. And we can put our yaw damper on, and there we go, our annunciator's off. And now as we put the flaps down, we should get results. I apologize once again. Like I said, I haven't flown in a while. Not to say that that's an excuse, but just so you guys know that I'm not really performing at my maximum thing, as well as I am also sick. So, that being said, here come our beautiful winglets. It's a little bit, because it's bright out, you know, the textures aren't looking fantastic. They're looking a little bland, but that's just because, you know, it's really bright out. And when there's a lot of light, it kind of can overexpose the aircraft. I forgot I was gonna do this flight at dawn to have a little bit of an artistic flair to it, but I actually forgot. We're gonna do a static takeoff because this runway is not that long, so we'll do a static takeoff here, and I'll fix the the alignment of the aircraft right quick. As soon as we get up to full thrust, disengage brakes, and here we go. Forgot to disengage those flight tips in the tweaking I was doing, because like I said, new partition, forgot to tweak that out, but it's okay, we'll get those out one day. Rotate and V1 are actually really close to each other here today.
V1.
Rotate here, pull our aircraft goes up. Actually, I thought it was a much shorter runway than it seems to be. But yeah, like I said, there we go. There's flaps 5. Oops, wrong way. Sorry. Flaps 5. Pushing through these speeds like crazy. They're really, like I said, really quick aircraft. As you can see here now, I'm actually trying to maintain my eye on the aircraft systems as well as the getting the flaps up. Here we can pull back the power today, because we can pull back the power because we don't really need that much power. This is more than sufficient. Something that, like, if you ever fly in a 737, if you have, or you will in your life, if you do, this passes through 2,500 here. We'll raise this up to let's go up to 8,000 for now. I'll fly us all the way up to 10,000, then I'll engage our systems up there. Just keep it at 6,000. I want to do that, but that's not really necessary, actually. Yes, what was I saying? You're flying a 737. The pilots will put up will take down the throttle, so it'll sound very much like this. I'll give an explanation here. This is what you'll feel on the this is what you hear. Very, very good sounds in this aircraft, by the way, but this is what you hear on the departure, and then a little bit after you hear this. Very similarly, the aircraft will start to slunt back. Just another altitude warning, 6,000 feet. As you can see, this thing has no problem climbing through the sky. Bring it up to about 8,000 here. Sorry, I forgot that I could use my mouse wheel. I'll do that now instead of annoying you with clicking. And we'll actually, we'll just clear ourselves up to 10,500 for now, because that will be a sufficient altitude for us to get to. So you can see nice textures out here today. Not fantastic. I forgot to install Rex. That's one of the only add-ons I still have to install until my system is back up to where it was before, exactly. But not too big of a deal. Rex is a very nice add-on, and it does crazy stuff to the sim, but we can do without. So yeah, so as soon as we get up to cruising altitude, I will end this part, and then we will continue on to the next part of the video, where you guys will be able to see the continuation of this flight, and then the third part, I should say, where we will continue it even further. Just climbing up through 9,100 feet. We'll give a little more power here, because as we go up, the air gets thinner, and we get less performance from our engines, which is a fact. The higher you go, the less air molecules there is and the less density there is. Therefore, it's harder for the engines to pull in as much air to get the same amount of thrust out. That's why if you need, usually you need high altitude training if you're going to fly in high altitude places, such as Colorado and places like Lukla, Nepal, which are very dangerous just because there's not that much performance out there, as well as obviously environmental factors of high elevation flying. They're going to start to push down the nose here. We're a little high on the trim. I heard the trim wheel, doing what it does, whether it was my input or not. It is irrelevant. So we're going to engage here, autopilot, engage our VNAV and our LNAV as well. And as we hand off to the autopilot, it will begin to take control of the aircraft systems and get us up to the altitude that we've assigned for ourselves. As you can see, the long distance of these between these waypoints has caused us to, have quite large distances to travel as far as vertical distances between each waypoint. So we'll be able to make those quite easily, actually. Not this first one, because I think the aircraft has not been prepared. But we'll start to see our vertical speed go up as the aircraft starts to pick back after it's reached its desired speed. Now we're at flaps up. Sorry, I keep thinking it's like a pull thing, but it's actually just right and left click. So now flaps up, cleaned up the aircraft, nice clean plane. We'll go outside and get some nice views of this aircraft flying by. Very gorgeous. Aircraft is an autopilot, so I'm not gonna be you know, too adamant about checking that. You can see that nice wing curvature there. Very nice wing curvature, very nice wing flex there. These winglets, I believe, are 6 to 8 feet long, so they're enormous. Very large, very, very, very large. Beautiful engines, very amazing sounds, and you know, all the above. Beautiful aircraft. I recommend it to anybody. You know, it's really a lot of fun to fly. It's really beautiful as well. So we are coming up to our waypoint at Bod, and going past 250. I had an accent there for some reason. 260 knots. We will be cruising somewhere around 310 knots, most likely. That's up in the higher altitudes, which will obviously transfer over to the higher ground speed. So probably around 280, 300 knots at high altitude. But as we just passed that waypoint, we're going to increase our altitude up more. We're going to be hitting flight level 363 by the next waypoint. There's 87 miles between this waypoint and the waypoint that's coming next, so that's quite a large distance. You know, who knows how long that will take. That will be about, I would guess that's going to take about, let's see, we're traveling at that much. So it'll probably take about 10 minutes. TCAS is off for some dumb reason. I forgot to turn that system on. I apologize again. Not really doing my best today. We'll go for a TCAS test, which is not a smart thing to do right here, but it's what I'm doing.
TCAS test pass.
Test pass to TCAS, and we'll go to TARA. Or TA only, whatever. So here we got a nice climb rate coming out at about 2,600 feet per minute. So we're just climbing through here today. Really, really high performance aircraft. Beautiful. I love it. I couldn't be happy with it. So, you know, there's really not that much to do up here right now, but we just have to monitor the plane to make sure that everything's doing well. And that's pretty much what the extent of what we're doing is. As we climb higher, we will pass a deal. We'll put our standard altimeter up. We're going to put our PFD up. It's not PFD, what am I saying? What is it called? They call it a, don't say it. Obviously you can't say it, but still don't say it. It's called a HUD, heads up display. Put the head up display up because it kind of gets in the way when we're up here of the beautiful views that we can have of the environment that we're flying by. As you can see, if I look down at the ground, you can see we're traveling really fast correlation to the ground. 441 ground speed is incredibly quick, especially at this altitude, not that high. As you can see, I believe we're going to be producing contrails rather soon. Just really going around this wheel bay lights, you can see there, incredibly high detail. And I will we can turn the wheel lights off. That's anti-collision, I believe. Wheel lights off. We will, are necessary, but they did not go off. That's odd. Maybe that's not the wheel lights. Anyway, I'm just gonna just go through a bunch of views. You know, clear this aircraft is just gorgeous. I mean, just absolutely gorgeous. This view right here. This will be the what's it called? Just a screenshot. That will be the view for the thumbnail for the videos. Just score. I mean, I can't even express. So just gonna go through these views just to show some more views of the aircraft as we're going through this little stage of limbo. We're not really doing much with the aircraft. Just really, really nice detail with the textures and just everything in general. Really, really nice plane. I love it. You know, even there's a little bit of a virtual cabin in here. You know, even onto the writing on the wings, just crazy detailed. So yeah, recommend to anybody. Really high for performance as well. My system right now, I have it set. I tweaked it a little bit earlier, and it really was best if I just left it as a frame rate limit inside of FSX, and limiting it at 30 frames per second is keeping 30 frames per second with fraps running. So you know, whether it's my NVIDIA graphics card doing a very good job of the processor, you know, with tweaks, this aircraft will run very well, especially with PMDG specific tweaks. It will run very, very well. So now we're just kind of reaching over the ocean here. We'll be a little bit longer until we reach that waypoint here, so not too long. But we're going to try and actually get up all the way to cruising altitude by the time we reach that, which we should be able to do by increasing this. And if we go into our FMC and we put flight level 391 as our design altitude for that part. So we're going to do what? We'll do 310 knots at flight level 391. Then we'll go through, recalculate all this data. Enable max out. Well, that's okay. It's enabled. It'd be nice if it calculated. What we'll do here is we can see if we can fix what we just did on it. Because clearly we made a mistake there. But no big deal. Just going to come through, make sure all our data is in check. See what we can do to fix that. We can actually do, we can just put that down, 310. The rough 40 miles, we should be able to do that actually if we raise our angle of attack and our throttle to transfer over to a higher vertical speed, but the aircraft is unruly and doesn't seem to want to do that. So we'll do flight level 385. See, 358, sorry. Should be able. Very nice. So we'll just, it's being annoying, not being nice to us, so we'll just come and put it in here, and that'll be nice. And for Buddha here, what we'll do is we'll set our arrival already so that it can start to select our thing for us, our speeds on our approach. We're going to be doing Gouda for the Ulaba 1 star in this airport, runway 10. And that will be, I believe, correct for us. No, really. It's so odd to me. I don't know why we wouldn't do that. But hey, such is life. Sometimes that happens. Our top of our descent will be here somewhere. We'll find it. I apologize that I made that mistake. Don't do that because it's my fault completely. I made that mistake. Do not do that. And, we should be lower by Gouda, and the aircraft will probably, not probably, it will recalculate all that data, and we will have that data set in by the time we get that far. So no worries there. Sitting here up at 0.79 Mach at 29,000 feet. As soon as we get up higher, 310 will be much higher than 0.79 Mach, because as we go higher, we can travel faster in correlation to the ground, that is. Just our, enable X out, we keep getting FMC messages, okay. We understand enable X next out, and we won't be able to get as high as we desire for the next altitude, for the next waypoint, but that's okay. We understand that they will accept it. So I'll end this part here, and we will come back to this aircraft, this flight, when it reaches cruising altitude, and we will start doing preparations for the descent into St. Martin. I'm debating whether I should make it a 3-part video or a 2-part video. I'll probably make it a 2-part video because 3-part is just going to be drawn out. It's not going to be that necessary. So I will come back to you when we are at full cruising altitude, a little bit closer to our destination, because I doubt you just want to see random cruising stuff. And yeah, so thank you for watching up to this far. If you like it, please leave us a thumbs up. If you want to see part 2, it might not be up yet, but if it is, it should be right on the sidebar, and you can just click it and watch that part. But thank you for watching. My name is Matt, and come again.